We're starting off high.
We can get
I think
two fools agree on that one. Oh, by the way, look, we got the wide shot.
There was you had accountability. Now what I can
Now all you need is a podcast and a YouTube channel.
No, not even.
Where give me the money. Show me the money.
Apparently there's a Foolproof page.
Shoot the J. Shoot it. Live on Facebook.com/Foolproof Entertainment Network. I need you on Twitter. I need you to repost the Facebook pages.
To raise a human before I would
Trust a human to raise back wolves.
before I would trust a pack of humans to raise a wolf.
Right. I hear you. Yo, what up, fools? Welcome to another edition of Do Fools Agree. As always, I'm your host, Michael Reggie, here with my main man, Clifford Jordan Jennings, back in live in person and in color. Well, I mean, he's colored, but in color.
Color. Rainbows, baby.
What's going on, man?
You know.
How you like the new setup?
I do. I like it.
Good.
I like it.
Yeah. Andrew helped with this, so this was chore money one day. We're gonna create your playroom over there, and Dad's playroom's gonna be over here.
Yeah.
And so we are reintroducing my favorite aspect of the show, the wide shot.
Right.
So we are back with that. How's your week been?
I mean, of course it was all 5 days. I don't think
you don't need to clarify on that one.
I don't think I missed one. I don't think I missed one or anything, but I mean it's been different, you know.
Because you started the new gig, right?
Yeah. So it's been a little different.
I mean, that a good thing or just a thing?
It's just a thing at the moment. I mean, Don't get me wrong, work is work, you know.
Right.
Regardless of what you're doing. But I don't know what it is quite yet. Excited to see what comes of it.
Okay. I get that. I similarly, work was work.
Right.
It was a whole 5 days that felt like 7.
Man.
But I did get to close on a good note today. I got to send a personal email to the CEO and tell him that we have finally upgraded this project from a red status to an amber status, and we are on target to launch his baby on time in the middle of the month.
What's amber? Isn't amber orange?
Yeah, yellow. They do red, amber, green instead of red, yellow, green because RAG gives you an acronym you can use. And orange is a little closer to red than yellow is.
I already don't like your company.
I feel like most companies do that. I feel like that's a project management thing, not necessarily a my company thing, but yeah, that's what we got.
Well, that's good news, I guess.
It was, and I mean, we paid for every fucking minute of it. People have been working. I mean, not me a whole lot, but people have been working nights and weekends.
I mean,
for
that's
2
what they
months,
get paid to do.
That's right. That's funny. That's the attitude the chief technology officer has as well. So he's like, that's why we pay you.
You just better pay me enough.
Right. Well, and guess what? We had plenty of people that have opted out over the last month, and we still got it done. So.
And I'm just saying I mean, I don't want to say anything about your company, but that's not a good sign that you're paying enough.
No, I mean,
because usually if you feel like you're compensated, you almost feel like owe
you feel obligated to it
to do a little extra.
Yep.
But if I'm not getting paid enough, no, I don't want to be involved in this.
No, and I get that. And the people that we wanted to keep, we have kept.
Right.
So some of this was an opportunity for folks to self-select out.
But you know what? That's also another reason why I don't like the whole keep your pay quiet thing.
Oh, no, I agree with you completely there.
Because certain people that make more. Certain people that make more that have been there long or less time and done less than you. And those people are ideally the people the company wants to keep.
In theory, I have a mixed view on that because we acquired a company. And the folks that we acquired, I think, were better compensated. I think it'll all come out in the wash here in a couple of months, but that's where it's a little different. However, to your point, yeah, I mean, that's entirely possible. And that is part of knowing what your worth is. That's also part of the reason why I've jumped around as much as I have.
Right.
Because I knew I wasn't going to get the inline increases, the same inline increases as I would if I jumped to another role.
Right.
Because when I'm jumping roles, that's my position to negotiate and say, yeah, I mean, I can stay in my current role if you're just going to pay me the same. If you want me to come over and do this new job, pay me X.
I mean, that's the luxury of being in that position, though. And
True.
Don't get me wrong, your degree assisted with that.
Yeah.
So your degree automatically puts you.
It doesn't. It does and it doesn't. So there are people at my level who don't have a college degree.
And I would imagine so.
Especially a company like this where over the years, a lot of the leadership team came up through the care centers. Now, that doesn't mean that just because they came from the care centers, they didn't have a college degree. But
that's one of those get lucky in the game of life situations.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I talked about this last week, I think. There's a dude who applied for one of our gigs, or applied for a gig on my team, and I'm like, I think he should be at this level, but I don't know it's going to be a right fit with me. However, he's not at that level already because of the team he's in.
Right.
So he just hasn't had the growth opportunities based on the area of the business he's been in.
Yeah, that's another thing too, a lot of those things happen. Shit, I've been involved in a lot of those things, but I also put myself in positions where it may not be the best move.
Yeah.
And that sounds wrong. Most people would think, well, why wouldn't you put yourself in the best move? Now, there's a difference, right? Because I will always put myself in the most advantageous move.
Right.
But it may not be the best for me. And what that ends up doing for me is forcing me to make a decision that I wouldn't normally make if I was in the comfort of doing the same thing that I was doing before. So essentially, by me taking this promotion, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm sticking with you.
Right.
Don't get it misunderstood.
No, it's something to put on your resume should you choose to make the move later.
Right. This it may work out.
Right.
May not. But either way, I'm not going into the situation thinking this is the end all be all here. Because I know how it goes, and I read an article a while back where they said if you want to maximize your worth with any company, you don't stay there longer than 2 years.
I think you don't stay in the same role longer than 2 years.
Well, see, I think that's the thing, right? Because the article is saying company. And the reason why I lean with company is because we all know the pay increase system at a company. And you can move up. You can move up twice and still not get the same pay you could get somewhere else doing the same role you didn't move up for.
No, completely get that. But that's also where I'm saying if you're moving intercompany, and this may not be the same everywhere.
Right.
Where I'm at currently, I'm free to negotiate as if I were coming in as an external employee. Now, I have a different set of expectations because I'm not. So I know that if I want a salary increase, I know my cap is probably somewhere at 20-25% if I'm changing roles within the company. However, if I were going to go external, I would request 30 to 40% more than my current salary, because that's what the cost of change is to me.
Right. But you
got to make it worth my while.
You're also in a different position. You're already top tier.
I am now, but at the same time, I wasn't when I first moved over to this group. I was sitting at like the way our leveling is, it's like specialist, senior specialist, manager, senior manager. I was at that manager, senior manager tier for a long time.
But the specialist level is above the working class.
Yeah, it's above like a call center. Or
so it's
center.
Almost like you already.
Well, it depends. It depends. Like the specialist level versus like a care center leader are probably more comparable. They're not that far off. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I mean,
I also think it's a different skill set. So
definitely, and but even that care center leader is different than the working class.
Agreed.
So either way, it's still like when you. So let's put it like this. In my situation, it's a perfect situation to use as an example.
Yeah.
When you come in somewhere as the working class position, you can work there for 5 years, like me.
Yep.
And only get $4.50 on top of what you came in at.
I hear you.
Or I can be a working class at that, work 2 years, and then go somewhere else and make $5
right
to be another working class.
But,
right.
But again, that comes down to the experience and what's your cost to change. So if you think those jobs are apples to apples, maybe a little more willing to like take something comparable. If you think those jobs are apples to oranges,
right,
you're going to have to pay me more.
Right. But you also are in a position where you can say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can always say it.
The best time to look for a job is when you have a job for exactly that reason.
I can always say it, and then what's the response they give me? Fair.
Not going to happen here, but it's a fair ask.
Right. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, G. Me, I'm always the guy that uses my talents as leverage. I have to find out the things no one else knows. So when I leave, I take that information with me. You. That way, I can then leverage from a working class situation a little bit more than the next person in line.
I get you.
So when it is a leave the company situation, that's a loss.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, the current working climate isn't the best. So if you have an employee that's exceptional, we don't really want to lose you.
Right.
Now, while I'm in that interview and I say I would like, that's fair.
Yeah.
But when I say I'm leaving, that's when the retention department gets on the line.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, what can we offer to keep you?
Right.
And see, that's where it's almost too late with me, because it's like,
you had an opportunity to do the right thing. You made me pull an ultimatum.
And now you want me to, I don't want to. I'll even take less now to go somewhere else just to spite you, because motherfuckers need to learn.
Yeah.
Like, you have people down at your pawn level that literally slave for a company that never end up being a rook.
Yeah.
That retire with less, even though they were better than the person who we wanted to keep.
Right. But some of that is, I think you refer to it as playing the game. And what are you willing to accept with it?
Right. No, I definitely understand that. But at the same time, there's different rules for different people.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't even mean racially.
No,
I don't even mean racially.
It's the S's and M's.
Right. I mean, like, as far as you're on that pawn level, that's a pawn. You move them as such.
Right. We're okay to sacrifice a few of those because they're easily replaced.
Right. You don't move. You can't. You can't move them like a bishop because it's a pawn.
Right.
So I'm not going to converse with you like a bishop.
Right.
Because you can't move like one. But you may have a bishop. It's like checkers too, you know?
Yeah.
Any one of your pieces can turn into a queen.
Right.
Can double up.
Can double up.
And that's the issue, is that when I look at the working class, instead of the build up, so to speak, it's the pick and choose.
Yeah.
And the pick and choose usually comes, what do they say about an interview? Most places hire a person that they can see themselves hanging out with on the outside of work basis. Most pawns don't fit that description.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that.
So that's where
now
it's
you
like,
got me thinking about that from that standpoint.
right. So you lose. That's what I'm saying. It's not like an NFL draft, right? Because in an NFL draft, there's tape.
Right.
We see games. So even the people on the outside can say, number 34 for Iowa State's a dog.
Right. But you don't get that at the professional level.
You get an audit out of a percentage of your work, which usually is too small to actually get a figure on.
Right.
Which makes the better employee drowned in that ocean of people, and then you don't know who to pick up. That's how you get team leads and managers that don't deserve to be in that position, and you're like, what the fuck?
Because at that level, it is almost a war of attrition. It's who's been there longer and stuck it out
And
longer.
a choice by the hiring, by the HR, by the onboard, the recruiter. I'll go with him over them because of... But that doesn't mean you made that decision based on all of the information you should have used.
Right.
You made that decision over, is this somebody I can see myself if they ever have to rub shoulders with me, you know?
Yeah.
Just like you said at the beginning, this is a guy that should be, I wouldn't necessarily like to you know.
Well,
but
my point is a skill set thing. Like, he's good at what he does, and if I can put the right role together that he works for, I'll hire him in an instant.
I was also going to say that I also know you're not the kind of person that would stop someone from moving up because you feel like you may not work with them the best.
No.
But the vast majority is.
Yeah.
So that's when you have to play the game accordingly.
Yeah.
And sometimes to play the game, you got to break the rules.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. And honestly, that's how I got to where I am. Like, there were things I was willing to accept, and there were things I wasn't willing to accept. And the things I wasn't willing to accept are when I've changed.
I'm not going to ask you for permission. I'm going to explain to you why I did what I did. And I feel like as long as I have a good enough rationale, I don't care what you have to say.
Right.
And most times that works.
Two bosses ago, that's what I was dealing with.
Most times that works. But you never know. Life is like a box of chocolates for us.
You never know what you're going to get.
You feel me? That's where we are. So me, myself, I don't want to say it like that, right? I don't want to say like I have no loyalty. I don't. No, that's absolutely the truth. And I don't care if a future employer is out there watching. That is absolutely the truth, and I think you have to understand that more people should feel this way. I have no loyalty to anyone but myself.
I think everybody should feel that way, because what has changed in the last 20, 30 years is companies have no loyalty to their people.
Right.
20, 30 years ago, you had people who stayed in the same job their entire career because those companies were loyal to them.
And if they got rid of you, you at least got to watch.
Right. You got to watch. You got some sort of and I will say that my company has done a good job in the rare instances where we have had to let people go. We've offered pretty stellar fucking severance packages.
Well, give me an application, motherfucker. Shit.
It all works well and good until they find the podcast.
Nah, because y'all on rag. I'm like, nah. Y'all ragging it. Y'all got amber instead of yellow. So I don't think I want to work with you. Who the fuck doesn't just say yellow?
It's fair.
Fucking weirdo.
Hey, man. I just adopted it.
You're a weirdo for working with them.
I'll be a weirdo. That's fine.
Now, wait a minute. RAG is the acronym that you want to use in this situation? And you think
No, they just wanted an acronym, and it was the only one that fit.
What about Roy G. Biv? Everybody knows that.
That's too many statuses. I don't want to deal with what's an orange status.
I'm just saying, I don't even know if that's a country thing or a national thing, but if we as kids who grew up in the school system still know what Roy G. Biv is.
Oh, damn. Well, I think we're still live, actually.
Oh, really?
That was a... You keep talking. Let me flip the switch here.
RYG should not be a fucking issue is what I'm getting at. If you have employees that have an issue remembering RYG because it's yellow, but they remember rag because it's amber, then I think you promoted the wrong right. You promoted the wrong group of individuals into your specialist team.
You're not wrong.
That's where I'm at. But shit, fuck. I mean, every machine has gears. The name of the game is to own your own machine, so.
That's true. The means of production. The problem is the means of what are the means have changed. And we've talked about this once or twice, but like the gig economy.
What's that?
The gig economy is like I can pay somebody to do something for me, whether that's Uber Eats, whether that's Uber, whether that's they're even starting to branch into like professional gig economy and having distribution sites for like artists, for coders, for like, so the problem with those types of things is the gig isn't the means anymore. The distribution channel is the means.
Well, we're beefing with China.
It's the whole Amazon problem.
We're beefing with China, so now that changes things again.
Oh, does it?
You don't think?
Well, say more.
Well, in order for me to say more, you should say more. Because
you're the one talking about what you're saying. China.
Before I when you said the distribution, right? And I was just thinking distribution-wise, everything's coming from overseas. You can't touch it here unless it first came from over there.
Right. So you're talking about from that perspective,
right?
Where I'm talking about from like the job board perspective.
I don't know.
So you're talking about the actual physical production. I'm talking about the ability to get a gig. Sorry, fixing this real quick. So when I'm talking about the ability to get a gig, I'm talking about, again, do you own Uber? Do you own whatever the contractor version of that is?
I follow what you're saying.
You're talking the actual physical means of production, which
right.
is where I would argue that I don't think that is the gig. Right?
Yeah, I follow what you're saying now. Now it's starting to make a little more sense.
So that's where I'm at with that. But yeah.
I mean, regardless of the fact though, like I feel like that's the one thing good that came from COVID.
What do you mean?
Is that I don't know with the country, the corporate side of things realized how many motherfuckers really want to work and how many don't.
Oh, no. Absolutely.
And I feel
that's why you will continue to see corporate America and subsequently politicians stand against the idea of something like a universal income. Because there won't be enough people to do the jobs if universal income becomes a thing. Unless inflation cancels out your universal income.
Right. That's a good point. That's a good point, huh?
So.
But in turn, I feel like, I mean, inflation would have to come, right? Inflation would have to come for the simple fact. I mean, it's coming now, but like it's happening as we speak. But I'm saying it'll have to get worse because now that you've cut the workforce in half to let us know, Because right now, what COVID did is cut the workforce in half, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Now, that half didn't give you the most talented half.
No.
It just cut it in half to let you know the willing. Now, out of that half, there's another half of people who are actually talented at what they do, who are now realizing they're not so much.
Right.
I'm not going to keep doing this for the same thing that you're giving them.
Yep.
So it increases certain people's
in theory,
salary.
What it did is it increased the ability to earn. In theory.
In
and you
theory.
actually have seen, and I'll be curious to see what the economic data shows at the end of the year. I'm willing to bet you're going to have seen wages gone up overall. Now, the problem is, have wages gone up to enough to compensate for inflation and still feel like they've gone up?
Right. I say kill them all. That's what I say. Kill them all.
Let God sort them out.
Yep. Politicians, I kill them all. No, kinda. But the lawyer lady in the booth is telling me.
Allegedly. Right. The lawyer lady up there in the booth is telling me to say allegedly.
It's been a while since we've heard from Wendy.
Listen, I think it's a while since anybody heard. I think we're keeping her legacy alive. It's fucked up. God bless her.
So, speaking of fucked up,
I love fucked up.
You know we got to talk about.
Yeah, man.
Will Smith winning an Oscar as predicted by Michael Reggie back in our episode of Will win an Oscar for King Richard, and yes, he did. So
you titled it that? That's a good.
We did. There is an episode. Go back. It's about at the hour mark. We're talking about King Richard because the trailer had just come out, and I said, yes, I think Will win an Oscar for his role in this. So that's all I wanted to talk about. I guess something else happened, but
I mean, you had to give him something. When you got a fucking AR, something's gonna hit. You feel me? You're just shooting.
I mean,
an AR is not even accurate when I think of Will Smith. I would say an AK, because an AR is designed to hit its target multiple times with the round. An AK just fires.
It just sprays.
Right.
Spray and pray.
And that is Will Smith. When you think of Gemini Man and all the bullshit that he's put out, iRobot, a lot of people liked I Am Legend.
I liked I Am Legend.
I like what they tried to do with it.
I also liked iRobot. I like both of them.
I like what they tried to do with it. Didn't succeed. What was the mannequin?
What? Wasn't that I Am Legend?
Yeah.
Talking to the mannequin?
Yeah, what was his name?
Oh, was it,
he said, how'd you get out here, Larry?
Is it Steve? I thought it was Steve. No.
It was something real weird. But that's what I'm saying. Even Hancock, like, it's all like...
Hancock was another one where to your point, I liked what they were trying to do. Exactly.
That's all of Will's movies. Yeah. That's all of them. All of his movies are, I see where you were going.
You say that, and you're not talking about Pursuit of Happiness. You're not talking about 7 Pounds. You're not talking about Concussion.
Those are the only movies that he can do correct, because Will Smith always looks like he's borderline about to cry.
That's fair.
So, of course, he can invoke an emotional reaction in
because
you.
What do we all think of when he does cry?
I think he's acting.
Why ain't he love me, man?
The Fresh Prince episode.
And he's hugging Uncle Phil.
R.I.P. Uncle Philip. Listen.
By the way, the new Uncle Phil is a fucking gangster, and I don't give a fuck if he's a DA.
He said it with an A, so it gotta be the truth.
And fucking Jeffrey is his consigliere.
Okay. I mean, but that's how it should be, right? That's how it is in a real family.
Right.
Like a real, and I don't mean like even a real family. You got your top dog and you got your rider.
Right.
You got the head of the household and you got the person that's always with them.
Yep. And it's willing to do the dirt for him if necessary.
Might be your wife. Might be husband and wife. Might be father and uncle. Might be, you don't know what it is. But usually the head of the house has to have somebody that
can rock with him.
Right.
No, I agree. And so I haven't watched it. I've made it about halfway through it, and I haven't gone.
That wasn't the case in the original, though.
No, because that wasn't a gangster family. That was a white family played by black actors. That brings me to my inadvert, right? That brings. Am I wrong for saying that? Like, I don't mean for that to come off sideways.
Repeat yourself.
I said Fresh Prince was about a white family who adopted a black son or was played by black actors. So it's kind of how I felt about it.
Right. So I would agree.
And is that why that show was popular? Off
wrong.
Yeah. And I'm acknowledging that. But that was, it was almost, and that doesn't mean that you can't have black wealth. But the way that they were portrayed, it didn't seem like there were rare instances.
That was the point, though, to relate to the white folks.
Absolutely.
So,
and there were rare instances where they did address kind of black issues in that show, but it was rare because it was a sitcom.
I remember the what comes to mind is Carlton when he was. I can't remember what episode it was. No, but it was a situation where I guess. I can't remember what it was, but he was getting that. Oh, it was in that apartment. Was it the apartment that burnt down?
I think you're right.
When they went back and he was like, all his friends was over there and they was talking about how he talked white and how he was. And he was like, I'm not white. I'm black. I'm just intelligent. And it's weird that you would think that that's white. Like,
I get that.
And that's what that is. That scene was the macro of the show.
Yeah.
That was the depiction. It was, how can we, other than Bill Cosby, provide
which that didn't turn out to be a great role model, but continue.
Well, I'm saying the family, at least. The family. But Bill Cosby wasn't even that, right? Because Bill Cosby wasn't white. That family wasn't white. Like, it may have been intelligent and, but it
was still very black.
Right.
It was still black.
The Fresh Prince is on the opposite spectrum because it's rich Bel Air blacks with a, for lack of a better word, a more realistic version of what we looked like in Will.
Yeah.
Especially back when the Fresh Prince was on.
Yep.
Wasn't many Bel Air blacks you knew of.
Right. And I think that's what I'm saying about this particular iteration. So Bel Air is that, to that point, like Fresh Prince, they might have hit on it in a couple of episodes, but it didn't address black issues. Which that's what I mean by when I say it was a white family played by black actors. They weren't addressing black issues in America at that point.
That actually may prove my point.
Okay.
And I haven't made the point yet, but I had an inadvert, and it was about the whole Will smacking Chris thing.
Okay.
And it's somewhat humorous, but it's more so true. My whole thing is, you can't expect Will Smith to get a joke when he's never been funny. And I mean that literally, though. Like,
he's comedic, but he's not funny.
That's the words that were wrote for him.
You're right.
You feel me? Like, there's a difference between someone
having comedic timing.
Exactly. And then having words written for them and reading them and coming off as funny. Now, what I will say is his talent is he can dig into a script.
Right.
Will can dig into a script, whether it's dumb and you're talking to mannequins or whatever the case may be, he'll dig into it 10 toes down.
Yeah.
But you weren't writing those jokes on that show. You weren't improvising Vince Vaughn. You were reading the script. The script was funny, not you.
I agree with that statement.
Same with everything that he's done.
Well, and that's
Bad Boys 2. The script was funny, not you.
And he's not known for like ad-libbing shit either.
And that's what I'm getting at.
Right?
The issue, the reason why I took issue with Will for what he did, and I understand what every black woman says is that it was a condition. Black women in their hair. I understand all of that.
And that was my immediate first thought, was that Will, it wasn't that he was just like defending his wife because she told him to, kind of deal. It was because it was something that like
no, it
wasn't
was.
in her
That was
control.
exactly what it
Well,
was.
I think it was, but I'm saying like that's not the reason he went up there. He went up there because it was something that was out of her control. It wasn't like it was a choice.
And I can understand, right? And the
that
only reason
part
why I
I get
pushed back
more
on you
than-
is because he laughed first.
Did he? See, I didn't see
He
that.
laughed at the joke. He looked over at Jada. She rolled her eyes. Then he got up and walked onto the stage.
Gotcha.
So what I'm saying is he knew from like his publicist, he knew enough. He had enough publicist training that this is my whole thing.
This is already a shit situation with my wife because of our open marriage, and our shit's always in the public, and like people think we're not in it for each other, and this is my chance to prove otherwise.
Well, I'm glad you said that. But no, here's my thing about it, right? Is the reason why I did not rock with Will is a bitch move to me because you're public figures. Both of you.
Yeah.
Jada and you. Both public figures. Be different if you had a wife that had never done any industry, anything,
Right.
had never built up that thick skin of people talking shit about them, does not have a red table talk show where she talks shit about everything going on. That would be different. But you're talking about somebody who has prided herself on outing others.
True.
Right? Even if you didn't, you're still a public figure.
Yep.
Chris Rock is an entertainer, a comedian. You have to know that anybody in that crowd, in his line of sight, can get these jokes.
Right.
The joke he made, alopecia or not that deep.
No.
Not that fucking deep.
Also not that funny, but
It wasn't funny. It was a Chris Rock joke.
right.
And let me say this as well. I'm not a fan of either of them.
Yeah. Well, I knew you weren't a fan of Will. So.
Not a fan of either. I've never been able to watch a full Chris Rock
Gotcha.
comedy special. Eventually I turn it off.
Yeah.
I can't get with either of them. Not saying that he doesn't have certain things that I might chuckle at.
Right.
Never grabbed my gut with Chris Rock. He's not funny either. That's why he made the joke.
Right.
In my opinion. Now, let other comedians say this is a legend you're talking about. A legend would at least dipped.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've seen legends.
True.
But I also saw another video, right? Where they had, and this is me, right? This is explaining myself. They had a professional body language expert read the video.
Okay.
To see if it was real or not. Didn't watch the video.
No.
Didn't watch it. But I know he was getting at it was staged. And there were points I felt like it was staged.
Yeah. Just the way that, like, he casually walked up there. Chris doesn't react at all. And then he casually just kind of walks back.
He casually walked back because it was a run. That was a run. Yeah. That was the same. That I don't care what nobody says. That was the equivalent of somebody hitting someone and then running away.
I don't disagree.
Now, if he would have smacked him,
and then got in his face right there.
If you ever say a fucking word,
right,
that would have made more sense to me.
Yeah.
But you smack him, walk off, doesn't say a word, and then you say, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. It all seems so weird to me.
Yeah. Well, and what's funny is Chris Rock has seen tickets for his tour like sell out since then.
And neither of them are dumb.
Yeah, no.
We're looking at Will, who's taken over Instagram in his later age.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump out of an airplane. I'm going to do a vlog from the top of Paris.
Basically, I'm going to learn from The Rock, but...
Whatever the case may be, I'm just saying none of them are dumb.
No. And honestly, more people tuned into the Oscars after that. Like, the show was tanking anyways. And more people are talking about the Oscars because of that incident than would have been had there been no incident. Like, I can't even tell you what won Best Picture. I know.
I mean, but I never would
Best
be able
Animated.
to tell you. But I'd never.
I usually know. Last year, the last 2 years, we've done episodes on the Oscars.
Have we really?
Yeah. And I could have cared less. Now, part of that's a little double-edged because nothing has really come out in the last year either. Like, I don't mean that. I mean that the quantity has not been there this year or this past year, so there's not a ton. Unless you're looking at.
Why do you think they invited the blacks?
Why were they sitting up front?
No, I'm saying, why do you think they invited them? Because there wasn't shit that they could.
Mm-hmm. And Will Smith finally got his Oscar.
That's like the Lakers championship. Like, there's an asterisk on that. Mm-hmm. You got that during COVID, G, when they was releasing one movie every 3 months.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is he's not funny. So he's not going to get a joke. Jada is just Jada.
Yeah. Well, and I think Chris did the only thing he could do at that point was basically just kind of like walk it off.
Listen,
like, if he would have gone at him afterward, like if he would have retaliated and either gone after him or whatever, one, it would have been bad for.
I don't think so.
Like black culture in general, I think.
Well, I think the incident in general is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that anybody defending themselves from something like that makes it any worse.
Yeah. Now, what I will say, and this was kind of my take looking at the whole incident and like all the noise afterwards, was comedians talking about like, oh, this means that it's open season in comedy and people are going to come do this at our show. I'm like, guess what? That's the risk every time you tell a joke.
But see, that's the issue, though, right?
If you tell a joke about someone and they're standing in front of you and it doesn't land with them,
that's the issue.
You make a joke about me and you hit something personal to me, I reserve the right to fuck you up.
Depending. If you don't put yourself in the line of fire, I can understand that remark. But everybody knows if you go front row to a comedy show.
Oh, you're a target.
Right. Now, my whole thing is this, is that I do agree with the whole attack on comedians thing because there had been one before.
Yeah, I saw
verbally.
A video from that. Or like,
well, no, I'm not even talking about somebody fighting. That happens all the time. But there was a verbal restraint that they put on comedians. Like, they had to be aware of the current climate of the world and adjust their act to.
I think I hear what you're saying, and I think we've talked about this.
Now, my thing though is this, because we all know it reminds me of the royal days where the king would kill the jester if the jester didn't make him laugh.
Yeah.
What happens if you kill all the jesters?
There's no one left to make you laugh.
The whole town's depressed. So what we're doing is we're attacking the people who are really supposed to ease our pain throughout tough situations.
Yeah.
So once you attack all of them, or you force them to a point that they don't feel comfortable to entertain you, you beg for them back.
Yep.
So right now, you feeling like, regardless of being Will Smith, regardless of being an Oscar nominee, regardless of holding the trophy and getting it, you feeling comfortable enough to go up and smack someone over a joke definitely opens the floodgates for people who feel regular, like, nobody's gonna joke on me.
Right.
Well, bitch, why did you come to this fucking show?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Why? We came here because we're trying to decompress, yet you would stop me from my therapy because you feel like you're attacked?
Yeah.
Like, I almost feel like if this becomes a thing, I think the next thing should be fuck anybody up that does it. If I'm in the crowd and I see somebody that selfish enough to step on stage to try to attack the comedian, I'm next. And I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
Because not only did you ruin my night and this comedian's night, but everybody else that paid for tickets to come here.
Right. No, I don't disagree with that statement at all. What I think I'm saying is the right to free speech and the right to say the jokes that you want to say does not free you from the consequences of those jokes.
Well, it depends.
Do I personally believe in physical harm? No. But that's my viewpoint. So that's where I'm torn on that. Because it's the same argument I would use with, in something that wasn't comedy, right? Like, and we've talked about this. If someone on the street calls you an N-word, you reserve the right to fuck them up.
But that's different, though, right? And then especially, that's another thing. You know what? You summed it up, and I'm wrong. Because you said that the Fresh Prince is like the depiction of, it's kind of white. And I start to think Will is, too. Because who didn't grow up jonesing on each other?
True. But we also don't know, like, if maybe there's, personally, I don't know if there's history between Will Smith and Chris Rock. I also don't know if there's history between Jada and Chris Rock.
Who gives a fuck?
But history like that can play a factor. And I also think, I don't know, I feel like Will's had some issues lately on that front. So I don't know.
Now, what you were saying before makes more sense to me because we did have a quick conversation about this on the Hit the Showers podcast as well, where we compared the forms of slaps to Juwan Howard against the Arkansas coach in, not Arkansas, I think it was Arkansas. I can't remember.
Slap, I challenge you to a duel.
But
motherfucker had to die.
What it really comes down to is, and I know that everybody says, why is everybody making Jada the enemy? And I'm not saying she is the enemy. But what I am saying is she did do a good job of emasculating her husband. She did a great job of that. I don't care what anybody says. You did a great job of emasculating Will. Talking about the whole August Alsina thing. The way you went about talking about the whole August Alsina thing. And then how Will blew up off of the fact he showed his emotion while talking about the whole August Alsina thing. So when the world sees you as a simp, a chump, and someone offers you the opportunity to show your masculinity,
right, it becomes toxic and you act out in that way.
Now that's where I'm getting at. Is it's like, that's Chris fucking Rock, my G.
Yeah. He's
59 years old. He's half your size. You know he didn't mean anything about that joke. It was 4 words.
He's like, I got slapped by Will Smith.
It was 4 words. Can't wait to see you in G.I. Jane. Right. And I'm not saying that's 4 literally, but I'm saying it wasn't a full joke. The one, excuse me, I almost said, the one young lady, the Australian, Sybil Rebel Wilson, had a joke about her and her little fucking entanglement. Everybody laughed at that.
Yeah.
But my nigga said something G.I. Jane and you flip your top?
Right. Well, it may be, so to your point and to the point of some of that was probably driven by Jada. If that was the second or third time somebody had targeted Jada in that, he probably felt like he could go up there and smack Chris Rock. So to your point around shit being staged, that leads some credence to that theory.
Listen, I don't know. The way I see it is, regardless of the fact, because what it does is it hurts you more, right?
Yeah.
It hurts you more, like, if it was because you feel like your manhood had been tested. Everybody knows you don't pick the small guy.
Right.
To show you're a man.
You go after the biggest dude in the yard. You don't go after the smallest.
You fight the lion. You don't.
Right.
Like, it's like, what the... it's like, what did you expect? And then now everybody is talking about Jada.
Yeah.
It's the exact thing you
but again,
did not want, right?
All 3 of them are in the spotlight right now.
That's why I say I'm still somewhat hung up on the fact it's fake.
Yeah.
I'm still somewhat hung up on the fact it's fake. Period.
Not-
I don't know that it's a real situation. And I think if anybody would try to pull the gotcha card, it would be the simp in the front row.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who else? Like, who else? Like, would it be believable with anybody else?
I mean, I don't know how believable it was to begin with, so I don't know.
It wouldn't be believable if he hopped up on stage and smacked Kevin Hart.
Right.
Would it be believable with anyone else but Chris Rock? What's an older comedian you can think of currently?
An older black comedian or just an older comedian?
Well, I don't mean like we're not talking like Don Rickles, like old white folks still hanging on and shit. And I know Don Rickles is passed, but I'm saying like I'm talking active comedians who's older than Chris Rock right now. I don't know.
I mean, is Dave up there? I feel like
Dave is 50. They said it on the podcast. He's
okay.
54, 55. Chris Rock is 59. No, Will Smith is 54. Chris Rock is 59, and Dave is 55 or 56. I don't know. But it's not believable if you smack Dave.
Right.
Dave would have fucked him up.
I mean, I'd like to agree with that.
Dave Chappelle would have fucked Will Smith up. I promise you that.
I don't know. Dave looks pretty frail every time I see him, so.
Listen, compared to when he had the Chappelle show, the fuck, Dave is still somewhat built like you. He still got meat on his upper body. When he had the Chappelle show, he was frail. I don't know what the fuck happened in Africa. I don't know if he got that non-GMO shit. I don't know what happened, but the nigga came back like 50 Cent.
Well, hopefully not too much like 50 Cent because of 50 Cent's current look. But
listen, all I'm saying is he's not smacking Dave. He's not smacking Kevin. Who's another big black comedian out right now? I don't know. Dave just dropped the Earthquake shit. Everybody's on Earthquake. I'm not a big fan of him either, but more so than Chris Rock. He's not smacking him.
No.
Who is he smacking other than?
Yeah. I mean, what? You've got Michael Shea and Hannibal Buress, but they're not old. And they'd fuck him up too.
That's what I was about to say. Hannibal Buress would fuck Will Smith up. Man, I just feel like there's something going on here.
No, and I agree with that statement. Like, I do think that there's more to the situation one way or another.
They saw the Kardashian model.
Right.
Didn't everybody say that they were the positive Kardashians when they were all dropping those videos?
Yeah.
So if you want to continue that model, what do? You do Kardashian shit.
True.
And that was very Kardashian. Not in the sense of what took place, but the wow factor of it.
Yeah.
That's Kardashian. It was
shock and awe, and yeah.
In the moment where people all have their eyes on you.
Yeah. No, agree there.
So I don't put it past them all, any of them.
I don't. Yeah. I'm with it.
But I mean, the legend would have dipped. Would fucking dipped. Just dip that bitch. It was stiff as shit.
It was.
It was stiff as shit. Aaron said on the podcast last night, he said if Chris Rock only would have dipped that punch, Will Smith would have spun the fuck out on that stage in them penny loafers. He sure would have too. He'd have took a drastic L if Chris just would have leaned back or ducked.
I mean, you're not wrong.
His coat, he would have looked like the Phantom of the Opera. His coat would have went over his face and he'd have disappeared. He'd have disappeared. I don't know. Seems like you're doing a lot of IT work on this episode.
I am. Well, and part of this is the new setup and the first time we're both back together, so there's a couple of little things that are irritating me. But anyways, with all of that, I don't know that I had anything else on the Will Smith front other than, again, calling out that I called him winning the Oscar. You got any inadvertence outside of Will and
outside
Chris?
of him not being funny?
That too.
I had another inadvert, kind of on some far out shit.
Okay, what you got? These are my favorite.
So I was at work today.
Okay.
As you know, I usually don't eat during the day like that. Coffee, water, and then I'll eat at dinner.
Yep.
I might, have something in the middle of my day, whether it be a banana or, if I'm going on the unhealthy route, a pack of noodles after lunch or something. But on my lunch breaks at my job, I get in the shower.
Okay.
And I feel like that helps me decompress. It helps
I don't
me
mind.
prepare
The midday shower. The midday shower is a great benefit of work from home.
For the last bit of my day, let me prepare for it so I can just sit in the hot water and think for a while. And before I went in today, I threw a chicken patty in the oven.
Okay.
So it would be done around the time I got out of the shower. I could just get it, finish my lunch, and then get back to work.
Yeah.
So I'm in the shower, and I smell something. Of course, it's the chicken patty cooking, but it smells strong.
Okay.
Like I'm almost thinking there's a fire going on.
And how were you? You were just thawing it, or were you cooking?
No, I was cooking it.
So was it in the oven?
Yeah.
All right.
Uh-huh. It was in the toaster oven, I should say. But
this goes back to needing an air fryer.
I have an air fryer too.
So you do it in the toaster oven over the air fryer?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I argue with this, but all right.
Yeah, no. Just because the air fryer is too much. It's too much, it's too much cleanup.
I hear you.
You gotta undo the thing and clean the bottom and then get it all out all that, and I'm not saying I'm the cleanest person. I'm just saying if a little grease falls in the bottom of the toaster oven, so be it.
Right.
It cooks itself anyway. It'll dry.
So you cause that grease fire in your toaster oven. But continue.
Well, it didn't happen today is what I'm saying. But the fact that I was in the shower and I had the smell, and it was strong too, and I was thinking to myself, I should probably hop out and make sure.
Yeah.
But then the selfish comfort guy was like, nah, it's cold out there. Just rock your shower out. If something's on fire, you'll see smoke.
Right, or you smell smoke.
Right.
The smell will change.
But that was kind of, the smell was like a smoke. I've never smelt that before, And when I got out, everything was fine. Chicken patty wasn't burnt. Nothing was. So I started thinking that was deep. It almost felt like I was next to the toaster oven smelling it.
You had a Zen moment in the shower.
Right, it was almost
you were one
like
with the chicken patty that was in the toaster oven. I
don't even think it was the chicken patty. I think it was more so environmental.
Okay.
I was just I had clearly tapped into something, right? Because the only reason why I say that is because I cook chicken patties daily.
Yeah.
2 at a time, 3 at a time sometimes.
I do it with the chicken tenderloins, but
listen. So, and what I mean by that is when I throw them in, usually I'll be in the living room watching TV on the couch.
Yeah.
Or I'll be on the game, or I'll do, so I'm closer to the toaster oven in the living room, and at a certain point, I can start to smell it cook. But the fact that I was in the shower and had just really put it in, and to smell it that fast, it made me feel like, almost like we as humans do have abilities to be able to tap into. It's just a matter of
the right conditions, or
right in your right headspace. Who's operating your connection board? Because I imagine it like a operator when you used to dial 0 and they say, where you need it? Okay, here you go. Right. And depending on how fast your operator is, you can plug shit in real quick. But if you're slow, your operator's probably moving slow.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't mean that disrespectfully,
I mean,
but I do mean slow as in a mental condition.
We do hear stories about that all the time, though, right? Like the mother who lifts the car off the child. Like,
right.
You hit those kind of superhuman abilities when the conditions are right.
Right. Now, my whole thing in thinking about that is because immediately what I thought when I got out and I saw everything's fine, chicken patty's fine.
Yeah.
I was like, well, how can I recreate the condition to be able to?
How do you tap into your superhuman
Right,
abilities?
you know what I'm saying? Like, what do I need to do?
We're about to find out the real life Hancock here.
What do I need to do with my operator to get them to make the connections faster for me to be able to do the shit? Because it wasn't, my whole thing is it wasn't I don't know how to describe it. It was a one-off situation.
Yeah.
You know? I can cook a whole chicken patty through full and be in the living room watching TV or playing the game and not smell it until it dings.
Yep.
But then to throw it in, turn it on, and hop in the shower.
And be able to smell it from
rooms
the shower.
Rooms away while I'm washing. That was the thing, is like I have soap. Like I can smell the soap.
So you can smell it over the soap, and
then I'm like, wait a minute, is something on fire in
is
there?
it less about superhuman abilities and more about ventilation in your house? Like, is there a vent near the air fryer, then it just came through like a vent in the bathroom?
Well, you've seen my house. Like but
that's where I'm trying to think. Like,
there's no vent in the bathroom.
Okay, so there's no like exhaust fan in the bathroom?
There is a fan.
It's all the same ventilation system, I bet.
But there's no vent in the kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know of any air vent in my kitchen.
Alright. That was my, like, as you were going into it more, that's where my head started going.
No.
The ventilation thing.
And even beyond that, even if that was the case, this wasn't the first day I've done that.
Right. But was it the first time you've jumped in the shower while...
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
This isn't the first time I've thrown chicken patties in there and said, let me hit the shower and I'll get them when I get out and clack back in.
Gotcha.
And the smell was so strong, I thought that it was possible it could be on fire.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
And I feel like...
I want to know how you tap into these superhuman abilities.
Listen, maybe you got to be in the shower.
It's a state of relaxation thing. That's what it is.
So I hope no car hits my baby, and if so, I hope it happens while I'm in the shower.
Now, does it work as soon as you leave the shower?
Now, that's a question, but I don't know. Maybe I can hold on to it for a while. But I do feel like that was it was different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's no other word I can select other than that was different.
I gotcha.
I'm trying to think of, because there's been other examples, right? Like, I can't think. There was a situation where I had a taste in my mouth.
Okay.
But the taste in my mouth was like, you know how you can taste smells sometimes?
Yeah.
And there was a taste in my mouth of a smell, not like a flavor, but a smell. And I think it was a situation where either Ashley or Aaron or somebody came into the house afterwards, and the perfume that they were wearing was what that taste was. Right, that I was having. Like, I had the same taste, but they weren't in the house yet. So it was like, where did that come from? Like it was almost a warning. Right. Somebody's walking up to your door. I don't know how to describe it, but it just, the whole inadvert comes from the fact that I feel like we have so much going on with ourselves that we're not aware of. And maybe 5G is the fucking problem. I don't know. Maybe it's 5G. Shit.
You're right. All right. Hey, I want to take a quick break.
Can we? I gotta piss anyway.
Yeah, we've got some static on the line, and some of this shit, IT shit's pissing me off. So that's what happens when you change the setup. Appreciate the shout out, Malcolm. Thanks for letting me know. So with that, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back to Do Fools Agree.
We're on Code Amber, ladies and gentlemen.
So, welcome back. All right. I think we fixed the audio issue, and I got the cameras back. So there you go. Every once in a while, sometimes we can fix shit on the fly. All right. Well, sir, what else we got? Did we have a reason for coming back? Probably not. Could have called it an hour and just been done.
You know?
So with it being April Fool's, and Cliff and I not having time to connect and come up with something better, I do have some questions. If you want to play a little question and answer game.
As long as they're not interview questions, I'm fine with that.
We'll see. We'll see what you say. You might argue with me, but we'll figure it out. All right. So from the list of foolish questions, what's invisible but you wish people could see?
Is this a riddle?
No, these are just off the wall questions.
What's invisible but you wish people could see? Like my confidence?
Okay, that's deep. You know what? I was kind of in the same lens of like emotion, and I was thinking like love. Like love can be invisible. But if there's like a little heart emoji that popped up over my head.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want people to see it.
But you don't want people to know that?
Yeah, no, because whether more or less, you don't need to know.
I mean, do you feel the same way about confidence? Do you want people to be able to tell if you're confident in what you're saying or not, or confident in what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that.
Or you prefer it to be faked? Like, I'd rather they think I'm more confident than I am.
I don't know, because I think that the I don't give a fuck is a form of confidence.
I get that.
Like, I'll do it.
Right.
And I don't give a fuck. You know, like, that's a form of confidence that I don't think I've ever been in a situation where it's like, oh, I'm scared. I'm scared to do this. Like, of course, nerves kick in, but if it has to be done, it has to be done, you know? So
I agree with you there.
There's never me lacking confidence. It's really just my... I had it and I lost it. Like my blind willingness, I guess, to just do. That's always been the case though. Like even if it was something that I knew I was got a potential of getting hurt on, or like just do it.
Yeah.
Let's just see what happens. And I think that that's a situation where I'm not as confident.
I get that.
And that still could come off as confidence when you look at other people's situations. So let me say not mine, let's just say confidence in general.
Okay. I like that answer.
Because then you could compare. If it's just mine, you wouldn't have anything to compare it to.
True.
And then
you'd have to be able to see it for everybody.
Then you could categorize that as delusion. But if you saw everyone else's confidence along with mine, kind of like a chart.
Like a HUD pop-up?
Right.
Heads-up display?
There you go.
Judging by the body language, heart rate, and other environmental factors, this person is 76% confident.
Right.
That would be a dangerous thing for me in my job, because I have executive leaders ask me that shit all the time. Like, how confident are you that we're going to deliver this thing on time? I don't know. I sent a note today that said we will deliver this thing on time. And I'm probably at a 60% confidence. I'm at 51.2% confidence.
But here's the thing. Here's the genius of Cliff. Is because if they can only see yours, that may be concerning.
Right.
But if they can see the person that they plan on asking next to do it, they're like, just leave it.
That's for the best.
Right.
You're not wrong on that front.
Confidence is my final answer.
I like it. Here's the next one that popped up. When's the last time you wet the bed?
Last time I wet the bed?
Yep. Fifth.
Well, I don't really wet the bed so much as I'll piss the bed.
Are those the same?
No, because wetting the bed is when you piss in your sleep while you're still laying down. I'll get up
and piss on the bed.
Like I'll get up and it's always when I'm drunk or
right.
you know, I'll get up and I'll try to stumble to the bathroom or something, and I don't know if I get turned around or what, but I guess I end up back. It's never the bed either. It's always
like the floor next to the bed
and the edge of the bed. Like I don't know what it is about that.
The Prince of the Click is chiming in with the papasan.
Yeah,
so.
I pissed on his mom's papasan too.
I think we've covered that multiple times on the show.
But it was big and white and round.
Looked like a urinal.
Listen, I was in the basement. Now what's even crazier is I laid back down on it.
That is crazy.
Like I pissed on his mom's papasan and all this was wet. Front's fine, but all like I just went back down. And I woke up like, did I piss myself? I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
See, what happened was right. Like, I believe the correct answer is.
Listen, I did fuck him.
Another one, you rich motherfucker. Fuck your couch.
Oh, listen, that was definitely. Fuck. I ain't gonna use names. Fuck your mama's couch.
Mine was definitely some drunken escapade, probably with my ex.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I pissed the bed or like wet the bed, like pissed while I was still in the bed.
Okay. I mean, generally, what I think the answer to that is, I don't think I would have remembered doing it either.
That's a good answer. I'm going with that one.
All right, here's one for you. What part of a kid's movie completely scared or terrified you?
What part?
Has there ever been a part of a children's movie that scared you? I feel like the devil scene in The Last Unicorn used to get me.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, that's an old school one. Shout out to anybody in the chat that knows that one.
No, I don't think that I've... No.
I mean, there was some scary shit in like
had,
80s kids movies. Like
even movies, though, I don't think that I've really ever been scared of.
Speaking of scared of in movies, Paramount Plus, another reason to get it. The new Scream movie was actually better than I thought it would be.
Scream movie?
Yeah, and they did the requel idea. So they completely introduced new characters. They actually introduced, well, spoiler alert, they introduced the daughter of the killer in the first one. So the daughter of one of the two killers in the first one.
The dude
and they bring back Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox and David Arquette. And
oh, it was a movie? It wasn't a show?
No, there was a movie that dropped on, I think, Paramount Plus. It was either Paramount... No, it's Paramount Plus.
I'm not really a big fan of slashers.
I'm not either. Generally speaking, like, I don't mind them.
I like Scream because, you know, like, it was, like tits and shit. Like,
right. Well, and, of course, talking about Scream, I'm sure she'll chime in the chat at some point.
Mom?
My mom coming down while we were watching it with the knife and everything. Being in on that setup, that was one of my more proud pranks I ever pulled.
You didn't pull it, she pulled it.
She did pull it, but I set it up. I'm the mastermind behind the scenes.
Mastermind and shit.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
No. Yeah, no.
All right. Nothing?
Yeah, no, I would be more interested in Picard than Scream. I don't really care.
Still a reason to get Paramount Plus.
I don't think I would, yeah.
Here I am, standing for Paramount Plus. All right, next one. Somehow I think I know what your answer is going to be here, so I'm gonna laugh when you prove me wrong. Which body part do you wish you could detach, and why?
Which body part do I wish I could detach, and why? That's an interesting question, and I have questions to the question in order to provide my answer. Like,
all right, what's your question to the question? Isn't there a song called Detachable Penis?
I mean, that's what everybody's going to go to, right? And my whole reasoning, right, behind that, and my question to the question is it useless at that point? Like, is it still hard? Do I still feel it? Can I work it like a dildo
instead of like getting your whole body
right.
into it? That's a great question.
Like, would it still be hard? Can I unscrew my joint and
still feel the sensation of fucking?
Right. And while I'm working the hand motion. Boop, 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 boop.
See, I'm trying to think if my wrist gets tired quicker than my
I got two of
my
those,
hips
though.
do though. That's true. You can change
right. You know, but
we're gonna go with yes. We're gonna go with yes. Or dealer's choice. You get to choose whether or not you can still feel it.
I don't know what the benefit of removing any body part would be. Immediately I thought arm.
Okay.
Because your shoulders stop you from getting into a lot of places. Like
That's
the fact
true.
that you can't restrict your shoulders. So if I could remove an arm, I feel like I could get into places that I wouldn't.
But then do you still have a reason to be in those places if you don't have an arm to do anything with?
But I can always. Can you reattach it?
I mean, I would assume so, but if you're just doing it to get into a tight space, do you have room to reattach it?
Well, I'm saying all I gotta do is slip through a crack, and then I can grab the arm
And pull it
put
back on.
and I'm
Okay.
in there.
I'm thinking more like crawl spaces and like having to fix something in a crawl space.
I think I'd still say arm because I can pull it off and then use the arm.
If it's still working and functional.
Right, that's why it's same as your cock. Like, is it still hard? Is it? Because if I can still use my fingers, then I can remove that arm like a crash test dummy and
unscrew something.
I wouldn't even need a ladder. I could just screw a light bulb in.
Well, some of us don't need ladders anyways, so.
You'd be like the Addams Family dude. Right, it's just the hand.
Just crawling along.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with you.
An arm?
I think an arm.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking about like...
That's more conventional, right?
Right.
Like, I feel like there's more use for removing your arm than it ever would be removing your cock.
Yeah. And I mean, what happens if you have to piss while your cock's removed?
You sit down.
Just goes... You're a female at that point?
You sit down.
I think that's a good answer. Or does it just spray everywhere? I don't know. All right, let's see what the deck of questions has for us next. I need like a sound effect. Oh, I know what this one is. Do you have a favorite t-shirt? If so, what's on it or what does it say?
I think I only really have our t-shirts. I only have Do Fools Agree and Hit the Showers t-shirts. Out of the two, I like the Hit the Showers design a little, the Do Fools Agree design a little more. I don't know if it's the colors.
You say that until I show you the belt.
But it's still the same design though. Like the belt may be beastie, and I'm not saying I don't like the Hit the Showers design.
Yeah. I think we have a certain fondness and attachment for the Do Fools Agree.
That may be it then.
Yeah.
I like the Hit the Showers design, and I like the fact that there's no faces on it or anything like that, but I think the Do Fools Agree would trump that.
Yeah.
So I think I would have to go with the shirt I'm wearing with the Johnny Rockets font.
Cliff's the only one who gets the good fonts, though, so everybody else has the block
Plain
letters.
Jane, Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. This is why we can't have nice things.
Listen, Plain Jane.
I will say, I enjoy our shirts, especially the ones that are printed on my black True Classic tees. And I do have a Dadalorian shirt that I frequent when I'm out with the kiddo.
I'm trying to think if I do have any other shirt that I like. Yeah, no, I think that's my answer. Yeah, I think that's my final answer.
Alright. Final answer. Do Fools Agree.
Mm-hmm.
If you're interested in a shirt, hit us up at foolproofentertainment@gmail.com. Oh, what's the price on those these days?
Or some hot sauce.
Or some hot sauce, it's true. We do owe them. We should send shirts back down.
Yeah, right.
And the next time you're here in person, that's our episode, by the way. We need to do a taste test with the hot sauces live on the air.
I thought we do need to do that.
Because I did have intention to do that the next time you came over. I just wasn't thinking tonight. So,
I don't know if we can
with
do
that,
it with chips and...
I was thinking trips, pretzels. What do you think? What do you want it with?
Hot sauce goes with chicken.
All right. We'll do some chicken tenders or
Yeah,
something.
maybe get a chicken nugget.
We can do chicken nuggets. I'll just put a plate of chicken nuggets up here for you. We'll do little sauce cups.
Yeah, I can't do a chip.
And with that, we've got our sponsor for the evening, because I think we shortchanged them last week. Black Lick Spice down in Texas.
Asking for you to add it to the Hit the Showers credits.
Yeah, that's true. I need to do that. Well, the problem is I think I need to do that at your house. Because that's where the setup is, and I can do it over the cloud, but it doesn't always come through. So I'll make sure I've got it, and we'll work that out.
Okay.
All right, next question.
BlackLickSpice.com, is that what that is?
I believe it is. So check them out. They got some good shit. If peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called?
Nut milk.
I was going to say nut butter.
Nut milk. Because that's the most liquid it'll get. So you can't.
Does anybody want liquidy peanut butter?
We drink almond milk.
I mean, that's true.
But it's not like you milk an almond.
Also true.
You know?
What do you mean you don't milk an almond? You gotta... like a cat nipple.
There's only one teat on an almond, and you won't get milk out of it, I promise.
I think that's right. I'm trying to think what else you could call it.
Call it nut paste.
Nut paste. I think that's the go-to. I think that's the winner.
Nut paste. Give me some of that nut paste.
Oh man.
Nut is paste.
What do you mean?
Semen.
Thank you, sir.
You can glue shit together with that, boy. All I'm saying is wash your hair. No, I'm just saying.
What was that? Something about Mary?
Listen, that's not hair gel. That's paste.
All right, here's one for you. What set of items could you buy that would make the cashier the most uncomfortable?
I mean, I feel like...
Is that your daily shopping trip?
I feel like the easy...
You have some combination of something with what? Condoms?
Right. Condoms, rope. Maybe an axe.
Go to Walmart. You can get all these things.
I would say what's that sport called? A lacrosse racket.
Okay, a lacrosse stick.
Yep, that's pretty. Yep, that's already.
That's already too much.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable you just mentioning lacrosse.
Listen, right.
A black man pitching lacrosse.
You have to know I'm not doing lacrosse with this. A lacrosse stick. How could I incorporate that? A lacrosse stick. What's the name of the thing you put your baby in? The baby backpack you wear on the front.
The baby Bjorn.
Mm-hmm. We'll do a Bjorn, a lacrosse stick.
Baby Bjorn.
A Bjorn. And a dog muzzle. No, a human muzzle. One of the ones at the bars that you put back here.
The open mouth gag.
But not the one, the bar, right? Just the bar. You have to put here and it straps around your head. And a construction vest.
We've got, I don't know, we've got an update to the village people, it sounds like.
No, it's all one costume.
It's all one costume?
Yeah.
All right. Let it ride. When you were going lacrosse stick, I was thinking a lacrosse stick, lighter fluid.
Oh, shit. A diaper. Diaper.
Bag of diapers.
And a sniper scope.
A pair of binoculars. The rope was a good call, though. Mm-hmm. I was good with the rope. Oh, goodness. Uh-oh. The Reeds.
Uh-oh. I don't want to hear her list.
Rubber gloves, bleach, rope, zip ties, and garbage bags.
That sounds like a regular grocery trip in Seattle. Or, I'm sorry. What? The area.
The Pacific Northwest.
Sounds like a Seattle spring break to me. Holy shit.
Oh, all right. Let's see what else we got.
Reets was in the new Scream?
She was, actually.
Listen.
They tried to say it was somebody else in that ghost face mask, but you know the truth.
Yeah.
She runs this shit. All right. Let's see. I don't like that one.
My ear's itching. Somebody talking about me.
Here's one for you. And you may have done one of these two
Maybe
things.
an ear.
An ear?
Wouldn't it be convenient to detach your ear and sling it somewhere to
and
hear
be able to listen?
Somebody's
right.
conversation.
I'm sorry, I thought you were back to the cashier. I'm like, I don't know who sells ears.
No. Yours, please. That one.
That would definitely make the cashier uncomfortable if you cut off someone's ear.
I need your ear. No, I want the hanger too. Leave the earrings on. Bag that up for me.
But where are the cufflinks? I got the groom in the car.
That's the most helpful white folks have ever been for me in my life.
So, story time. Because I don't know if we've talked about this one on the air. So, getting married. My buddy here and I, we went up to Buffalo a few days early and hung out with my family up there and their massive amount of property and really just drank with my cousins and
had fun.
Rode around on the Polaris and had a good time. And getting ready. We're getting ready, and Cliff realizes as he's getting dressed, oh shit, these are French cuff shirts.
Right, there's no buttons.
There's no buttons.
Is that what they're called?
I believe it's called a French cuff.
Wouldn't have known that. I just would have thought they were cheap. And the fucking buttons.
I mean, they were cheap, but they just and
that was a Stacey Adams shirt. That wasn't cheap.
No, you're right, but we got it from K&G Men's Warehouse, so it was kind of cheap. We got the whole outfit at K&G, and it was phenomenal.
It was.
Because I think we got out of there for under $200 for both of us.
I don't remember, but I know it was a nice.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, and you got the red socks, which was a great add-on.
Mm-hmm.
And
the Stacey's.
It's true. And so we're heading to the wedding. Or no, so he realizes he doesn't have any cufflinks, and my uncle didn't have any
dressed for the wedding.
That's what it was, yeah.
Right.
At my uncle's house, and we needed to drive 20-30 minutes to get to the wedding.
Right.
And so, we got a late start to driving because we were drunk from the night before.
I think I was drunk that day.
Might have been. There's definitely a picture of you and I like passed out on the couch.
Uncle Greg and Aunt Michelle definitely made us pina coladas before we left.
That's true. And we're leaving, he's getting dressed, realizes he doesn't have cufflinks. Nobody in the house has cufflinks. And so we stop at, what was it, Kohl's?
Uh-huh.
And I pull up literally like out in front of the Kohl's. And Cliff hops out the car and go ahead. You tell how all this went down.
Listen, I was like I said, that's the most helpful I've ever had white folks be for me. I just ran in there and said, I need the cufflinks immediately. Where they at?
I got the groom in the car.
Listen, I said, had all of that. They had somebody come out from behind the register, walk me to the cufflinks. I walked back. And everybody was like, you can go ahead. You can go ahead. I said, thank you about 23 times.
And we were out of there in like 6 minutes.
Listen.
It was impressive. And we made it. And the marriage lasted about as long as Cliff's trip in the store. All right.
I guess the key to that story is don't forget the cufflinks.
Don't forget the cufflinks. But where are the cufflinks?
Listen.
All right, here's one for you.
It probably helped me because it had the word cuff in it. They were like, get that motherfucker the cuffs fast as possible.
So, funny enough, the next question is, would you rather sleep wearing handcuffs or in a bike helmet?
Sleep?
Yep.
I'm going handcuffs.
Handcuffs?
I'm going handcuffs.
Why? It depends. Are they behind me or are they in front of me?
That's another good question.
Because if they're behind me, I'd rather sleep wearing the bike helmet. Because I feel like a bike helmet's more comfortable.
But your neck.
I sleep on a pillow anyways, so how's that any different? The bike helmet becomes my pillow.
I don't use a pillow.
See, there's the difference.
Handcuffs.
Handcuffs.
I think I have slept in handcuffs. Depends on how long it took to get to the station.
And how long they left me there. Did he need to get coffee on the way?
Listen.
All right, so we have another uncomfortable grocery list coming in from the chat or via text.
Okay, we're
not gonna go into all that.
All right.
So, douche.
It came through text. It didn't come through.
A douche. Plan B. Box of condoms, baby formula, tequila, and a DVD.
That's my New Year's Eve.
Right. Here you go. That sounds like a good time.
I didn't know I should be.
We have another one coming in through
nervous.
text. I don't know why these people are using the private line instead of the public
right,
line.
because they don't want to know. Nobody wants to say it online. I'll say it.
The next one is a badminton set, XL condoms, teriyaki sauce, and Paw Patrol figurine.
That's interesting.
That is an interesting one. If you've got any more that you'd like to drop in the chat, because I think I've gotten texts from at least 3 people, which means we've got a fair number of viewers today.
Right.
That's great. It helps us more if you send it in the chat. It helps the algorithm.
Right. Motherfuckers thinking they ain't nobody watching this motherfucker because everybody texting.
This is why we can't get over 100 subscribers.
Listen, put a name on, put an address on it.
Oh, here's one for you.
Now, that's even worse. Are we buying this at a store or are we Amazoning this list?
I mean...
Because if so, you may be on some CIA databases.
Might be. All right. If humans came with a warning label, what would yours say?
Kill them now.
Caution. May kill you now.
Exterminate immediately. That's what I think. I think we are the shittiest thing about this world.
I find that hard to disagree with.
I think that lions eat their own kids if they think that they will grow to take their spot. And we are still the shittiest thing about this world. I agree with that. I think weeds will devour your house if unkept. But we are still the shittiest thing about this world.
I'm trying to remember. There's definitely a sci-fi show where they refer to humans as... It might actually have been... I don't know why. I'm thinking it's Men in Black. But it's like, humans are a virus.
I think we are.
They take what they need. They leave nothing behind.
Yep.
They destroy,
I think
assimilate.
that is Men in Black. Another
it's the Edgar
halfway
bug.
Decent movie Will Smith made.
You know what the difference is between you and me? I'll make this look good. Fuck you, Cliff.
You and Will Smith.
All right, here's one for you.
I wish the glove was on another hand.
Even when slapping was fashionable, and they walked up and said, I challenge you to a duel.
Listen.
One of them motherfuckers had to die.
What was that?
That was Charlie Murphy.
Yeah.
With 5 fingers say to the face. Slap.
Somebody said,
Charlie Murphy, why'd you break my leg?
It went right. It was Bert Kreischer. I don't think it was Bert Kreischer's joke. He was on the Flagrant 2 and he said Chris Rock getting slapped in the face. Fresh Prince.
It was I saw a meme with all that.
Fresh Prince. I thought that was hilarious. I said, damn.
That was
that
funny.
motherfucker can still go down with them prints on his face.
I mean, did they do a close-up of him afterwards? Did he have a mark on his face? I feel like he didn't.
Nah, he didn't. That's another thing. So on Hit the Showers, you might want to check out episode 111 of Hit the Showers. If you look at the form of Will Smith, he smacks him and rolls his hand over this way.
Right, which is how he does his stage smack, which is the other video.
Is that right around. Too?
Because what he does on the stage smack is...
And that's exactly how he did it. And that's what I was saying. He couldn't have made good contact.
Yeah, did he just get him with his fingertips?
Everybody knows if you smack someone correctly, you see palm and
right.
this.
Right.
You don't see this. So the fact that he hit and went like this lets me know you didn't really hit him.
So
like
I
that.
know he didn't do like the clap there. Did he do the old school like WWE super kick where he slapped his leg?
Listen, we know he didn't slap his leg because his other hand was up like this.
Okay.
If you look at the after of the smack, he has his hand up. It's like this.
Yeah, full rotation on his hand.
but it's acrylics. It's like somebody showing you their fingernails right here. That's not a good smack. A good smack, you see the palm afterwards because you followed through with the smack. But you don't hit it and glance to... Yeah. That's a glancing blow up of this. But you don't follow through. Right. You even heard the difference in the smack there.
Yeah.
Which, it might be fake.
No, I'm with you.
Fucking Vince McSmith.
Vince McSmith. Oh, man.
I might have a McSmith when I go home tonight. Chicken sandwich.
Oh, okay. Like, the fuck are you talking about?
I'm gonna have a McChicken. How are we not famous by now?
I don't know. We got somebody in the chat yelling, why is the dude on the right screaming?
Who, me?
I don't know.
I scream, don't vote for Kamala. That's a Russian bot in the chat, huh?
Probably is.
Because you don't know anything about me if you just tuned into this motherfucker. Listen, I'm a screamer. Listen.
Oh, man. Well, the next question is, who can you impersonate really well? I mean, I think it just...
Will Smith! You wasn't close enough to me.
No.
Game. Blouses.
Oh, shit. That's why I'm screaming, because I'm good, motherfucker. I don't know.
Cliff? Let me be clear.
He said, well.
Well, I'm not sure that's accurate. This is the voice of Barack Obama, here to tell you that you should vote for Kamala.
She's a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. You gotta do better.
Well played, sir. Well played.
I'm back 2028, bitches.
2028, he's gonna win.
He's not gonna win next year. He's the year after.
2028. Is he still gonna be alive then?
I have a time machine. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. Just ask The Simpsons.
Oh shit.
Here's one for you. If you were a villain or criminal mastermind,
Myself.
what would your calling card be?
Ooh, that is a good one.
Miller High Life.
A condom. A condom, a rope, a badminton net, and a playing card.
Any particular card?
The Jack of Clubs.
The Jack of Clubs. I like it. Not the King of Clubs, but the Jack, or the Ace.
No, because that's Chris Rock.
Oh, okay.
The King of Clubs definitely wasn't Will. Who ran the Oscars? Who ran that motherfucker?
I think this goes back to
that's
the fact
the King of Clubs.
I think this goes back to the fact that nobody watched the Oscars other than the Smack.
Listen. 52 pickup.
There you go. I'm trying to think, what would mine be?
Mine would be a...
I do like that you went to the grocery list, though. That was a good callback.
Mine would be a signed... what do you call it? The shot that they use for movies that all the actors give.
Oh,
a signed headshot of... Mine would be a signed headshot of David Hasselhoff from Baywatch.
Love it.
That would be my calling card. And I would only kill kids who are pieces of shit. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. That's the last we heard of David, wasn't it? Him cussing his daughter out drunk on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah. Not true. No, he was in. He makes a cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. He's in the
Is he drunk
extra
on the
credits. Floor? No, he's
drunk
singing.
On the
actually,
spaceship?
it's him singing, which makes it even better.
Okay.
I think mine would be a Star Trek communicator pin.
I would know exactly. I said, go to this motherfucker's house. I know who that is.
Live long and prosper, sir.
The fuck? And it's not Spock or C-3PO. No, I'm just playing. C-3PO is Star Wars.
Well done, Cliff. I'm
sorry.
impressed.
Well,
there is a question coming into the chat in terms of what inspired the bold haircut, and I don't know who they're talking to.
The bold haircut?
I'm assuming it's me. I don't think it's bold. I told Mother Nature, fuck bald. You, Mother Nature.
I think that's a smackable offense if we're talking Jada and Will. Why you're asking him that?
That's true.
It's not alopecia,
Cliff,
I'll tell you
handle
that.
This.
Right. Listen, if you can digitize my hand, that's why an arm's the best to remove. Maybe it's not an ear.
Can't prove it was mine.
I'm gonna mail this motherfucker to you. You hear what I'm saying?
All right, here's one that I think we'll both agree on. If you were given a 1-minute Super Bowl ad that you couldn't sell, what would you fill it with?
That I couldn't sell.
Right. So if you had an ad spot, you're not allowed to sell it for money.
Oh, okay. I see what you said. Of course.
Yeah. It's Foolproof Entertainment Network all day, both shows. We do 30-second spot for each.
Listen, why are y'all watching the Super Bowl when you can watch the after party?
That's right. We usually do have a good after show for the Super Bowl. Speaking of after parties or watch parties, are we doing another first round draft episode?
I think we should.
That's what, a Thursday night?
Is it?
I think that's one usually.
I think we should.
That's got to be coming up, right? Towards the end of the month?
Yeah, it's definitely on its way. It's definitely on its way because they've been doing pro days and all that.
All right. So look for that special episode of Hit the Showers.
I never even thought about that. I'm glad you said something.
This question deck looks like it was geared towards you. Where is the strangest place you've urinated or defecated?
Okay, so I shit in the woods.
and we already know the prince is going to say his mom's Papa Sanchez.
I shit in the woods and wiped my ass with a leaf once. I was a child.
Was it poison ivy?
No, but there weren't any breadcrumbs. That I can confirm. Pissed. I pissed out of a moving semi-truck.
Really?
I have.
All right.
Ironically, both of those times were Boy Scout days. I wish that was a joke.
It's true.
But that's the punchline.
I don't know that I have a strange one.
Oh, shit. I pissed out of a moving semi-truck. I wonder how many... Never mind.
I'm trying to think if I have a good one. I don't think I really do. I feel like maybe... I feel like there had to be a drunken night in D.C. where I did something stupid. But, again, I was drunk. Piss. I don't remember. It didn't involve piss.
Shit, yeah, no. Those are the only two I can think of.
Can you do any tricks with your tongue?
I can tie a cherry stem. I can, Well, I'm not gonna show you.
I was about to say, I'm gonna leave that one to the chat.
You gotta subscribe to my OnlyFans for that.
That's right.
Foolprooфentertainment.com/OnlyFans. Excuse me. Oh man.
Here's one for you. If animals could talk, which one would be the rudest?
The rudest animal?
Yeah.
An owl.
An owl? Why?
Because he's always trying to tell you how many licks when I'm the guy who can tie a cherry stem with my tongue. I'm done for the evening. I quit.
Cliff has murdered himself tonight.
I quit. I quit.
It's my cat, Lipka, by the way, is the correct answer.
That might be a good one. It might
She
be a good
does
one.
not give a fuck. And her and the new dog, man.
They don't get along.
He wants nothing but to play with her.
And
she
won't.
has smacked him in the face at least 3 or 4 times.
And he's still like, well, is it all right now? Is now a good time? All right. We'll wait.
He doesn't understand that no means no.
Right.
We need to work on puppy consent.
I get it.
Speaking of which,
He came from lockup.
that's true. He did come out of lockup. He's just looking to get some. So, left him alone on Tuesday for 4 hours, not in his crate. Perfect angel. He found a bag that he kind of tore up, but it was like a brown paper bag. It was a yard waste bag. Wednesday, I go to the gym for 1 hour in the morning. And this motherfucker ate an Amazon Fire TV remote. And you know that to get a new remote is just as expensive as to buy a new Fire TV. So if anybody needs a Fire TV and wants to run the remote off their phone, talk to me. And then he was good again yesterday, so we're getting there. Kylo Reg. Let's see.
Well, that's why you were a rescue, motherfucker. Learn how to keep shit out your mouth.
Keep shit right. All right, we've got... Actually, we're about at time. We're almost at 2 hours. You want to do one more?
Yeah, of course.
Or we can do a couple more. Here we go. What is the...
I'm on fire!
What is the sexiest and least sexy name?
I hope I get points for this one. I like Raquel for a girl for the sexiest. Let me wink into the camera on that one. Least Gertrude.
I think Gertrude's up there.
I don't know. I'm using real people, so I hope I don't offend. Esther is another one. I know an Esther.
Okay. It's just, is it just the name though? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I thought that was the question.
Yeah. Just making sure.
I wasn't
confirming. I'm confirming
No,
that this is just that the name does not sound sexy.
I'm sorry, Esther. But Raquel. One of them.
I feel like I'm partial to like Christina in terms of sexy names, and then least sexy.
I think you're thinking of the face behind the name. Because Christina is not a sexy name, but I guarantee that you most likely know sexy Christinas.
I actually don't think I do.
That's interesting.
So I don't know.
I know a couple Christinas.
Do you?
I wouldn't call them sexy. Well, Christina, what I get.
And least sexy, Ursula. But
Christina Ursula.
Because the first thing that comes to mind is the witch from Little Mermaid.
Christina was the first young lady in my life to provide me with a questionable grocery list. Let's put it like that.
Okay.
No, but I don't know if you remember, but I got in trouble as a child. I was very young. I was probably 3rd or 4th grade because I got caught with a condom in my pants in the washer. Never
Rookie move.
used a condom.
Right.
5th, 6th grade, what I say, 3rd, 4th grade, I never used a condom.
Right,
But
because
she
before that
gave
he
it
went
to
raw
me.
dog.
That
He didn't know any better.
That was about 10 years later. But nah, she gave it to me.
Well, she gave it to you.
You remember the Christina I'm talking about?
I think so.
And yeah, I got in trouble. Well, if you remember correctly, I got in trouble twice. I'm done. Give me one more.
This is the last
Give me
one.
one more.
This is the last
done.
one, and then we're going to call it a night. And it's a good one to end on.
Okay.
It actually may be one of the better questions. What's the weirdest
Wait. I feel like I've been answering most of these questions.
I
and
have
you
too.
Okay. I was just about to say, I think
Roll the tape. Roll it back.
I think you skipped a couple.
I might have skipped one or two.
Let's go.
And I will answer this one, because we may have already talked. This may have been on one of our interviews.
If it's what you're about to ask.
What's the weirdest place?
That you've had sex?
Yeah.
Another thing I don't know if you remember. I had a notebook filled with all of the places I wanted to have sex. And I still remember to this day there were 532 places. And I tried to check off as many as I could. And I got to 20.
That's still a pretty good number.
Right. And the places. Places were wild. I don't know.
So what was the
I
wildest?
won't name any names. I'll just wink at the camera one time. Wildest? I don't know if I pulled it off or not. I know we tried it. And Aaron, I guess I snitched a bit. Aaron was involved as well because he had to get me there.
He was the driver. He was always our driver.
I don't know if I pulled it off or not.
He had his license before we did.
But I want to say in one of the phone booths at Easton.
Jesus. That's pretty solid.
I know I definitely tried. I don't know if I pulled that off or not. I can't remember. Wink, if you could.
If you remember.
Well, definitely don't hit the chat. But you can text my phone if
Maybe
you
we
remember.
can try again.
That was years. That's decades ago.
Gotcha.
That's literally decades ago.
Probably the last time you went to Easton.
Well, no, I have a daughter now.
Oh, that's true. All right, fair enough.
And there aren't any more phone booths at Easton.
Yes, I think there are, actually. I think
Are
they
there
still
really?
have phone booths at Easton. Yeah, I think there's at least one or two. Out in the courtyard area, like between the indoor mall and the outdoor mall.
That's where I was talking about originally. They used to be like red, like
I think they're more glass now.
like
It
the
might be harder to
British,
pull
like the
off now.
British version. Like that's how they used to look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of those would be. I think I could top that though. I just can't. That's so long ago. And when you do something like when you're ignorant enough to do
Try
shit
something
like that,
like that.
you forget all of the other
Ignorant shit you've done.
attempts you made, you know?
So my one.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I don't know. I was a voyeur.
I believe that's an exhibitionist. A voyeur would mean you want to watch other people do stuff.
Oh, I thought you wanted them to watch you as a voyeur.
No, I think that's exhibitionist. That's the other side.
You might be right. You know porn. No, I'm just playing.
I do actually. I do know porn. If you need recommendations, hit me up.
Maybe I've been searching wrong all these years.
Oh man. No, the voyeur one is the one that you want if you want to watch somebody watching somebody, like another couple have sex.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not a voyeur. I'm the I'm the guy you right. I'm the guy you draw at the.
Paints me like one of your French girls.
Right.
I'm just laying there.
Listen, it ain't gonna look like Titanic. I guarantee you that.
Mine is mine. Actually, with the first girl I ever had sex with, and it was after we had broken up. We had hooked up one more time a couple months later. Maybe it was a year later. And she lived in Worthington.
Oh, shit. He about to wink into the camera, too.
No, because I haven't talked to this one in basically since this took place.
And you know what?
Lived about a block and a half from a cemetery.
Had sex in the cemetery?
Had sex in the cemetery.
I don't know if that
rolling amongst the tombstones.
I don't know if that would help me unless there was like a Thriller hand that played with my balls that popped up out of the grave. You know what I'm saying? You better still have padding on your tips, otherwise it's not gonna work for me.
It was just a spot of convenience.
Who does that though? You? Like, who does that? Like,
hey,
if
it was her suggestion.
Right, and I was just about to say, you cut me off. I was just about to say, if I ever ran into a girl, it's like, you gonna have sex in the cemetery? I'd say, bitch, if you don't subscribe to Paramount Plus, watch fucking Nev Campbell and Courtney Cox.
And that right there is a good one to end on.
We
so
out.
you got anything to take us out there? Sir?
Love everybody and love them more than once if it's in a weird place.
Amen. Do us a favor, like, share, subscribe. Hey, we've been hovering right below 100 subscribers on YouTube for a while now. Do us a favor. Get us over the hump. Get us through that 100, because I think once you do that, things start to take off. So, do all that. You can always find us at Foolproof Net on pretty much any social media channel, although I will tell you we are most active probably just Facebook and YouTube. I do try to put some on Instagram once in a while, but that's about it.
I can't even put my links up on on Instagram.
No?
Yeah, it blacks my link out like to where you can't click it. It just shows the letters.
You know what you should do? Are you linking out to YouTube or Facebook?
I have no idea.
Link out to Facebook because it's owned by Instagram.
Then that's probably it. You're probably absolutely correct.
So with all of that, peace out, fools.
I'm telling you.
No,
what?
We're still peacing out, fools.
Oh, we are?